I'm Natalie from the Liquid Muse. Welcome to Tales of the Cocktail 2009. I am standing with Mr. and Mrs. Cocktail, otherwise known as Anne and Paul Tunerman. And Anne and Paul, what are some of the things we should look forward to? This is your 7th year of Tales of the Cocktail. What's different this year?
It is hard to imagine this is our 7th year. Actually, the only thing that's different is it gets bigger and better. I mean, it is a must-attend for a mixologist. It is the world's biggest global gathering of, cocktail enthusiasts and professionals, and we're going to have, 15,000 of those people descend on New Orleans, and we are just thrilled about that.
That's incredible. And now I know that you have some really fun facts about Tales. Can you share some of those with us, Paul?
Well, Natalie, I feel sorry for the rest of the world because the only place you're going to get a well-crafted cocktail this week is right here in New Orleans, where we expect to go through over 9 tons of cold draft ice, over 12,000 bottles of liquor, 14,000 lemons, 12,000 limes, and the list goes on and on and on. It was quite a grocery run for all of us.
Yes. It's hard to imagine when you have 40,000 napkins, 100,000 Tales of the Cocktail cups that, you start getting stingy with them. And people are like, do you have napkins we can use? You're like, no, we only have 40,000, when you're in a meeting. But the numbers, we say we measure our success in garnishes. So that's just to kick off the week. And at the end, we will retally all those numbers and let you know where we stand. But hopefully you've partaken in a lot of them. So.
Well, considering how many people you collect every year, it's going from like 100 people to over 15,000, I think you can measure success in attendees. Congratulations, and thank you for hosting everyone again. You guys are incredible. We all owe you so much.
Thanks,
thank you for the Liquid Muse.
Oh. Cheers.
Cheers.
We're at one of my favorite events of Tales of the Cocktail, the Blogger Party, and this is Paul Clark, the brains behind the madness of the Tales blog. Paul, I'd love to know, what's your opinion on how the internet has impacted the resurgence of cocktail culture?
Well, I think the internet has been a perfect communication tool for people who are sourcing old recipes, trying out new recipes, looking for different kinds of ingredients, and it's been a great tool to facilitate us in our search for that. So people are all kind of working together in different countries and all across the country, to create great drinks.
Ambassador for Tales of the Cocktail allows me to actually talk to people, help them understand the purpose of a quality culinary cocktail.
It's fantastic, and another way you can see Robert do that is on his show, Cocktail Spirit and SmallScreenNetwork.com. Happy Tales!
Happy Tales!
So now that we have all 3 Hendrix ambassadors in front of us, Xavier, Charlotte, and Jim, I need to hear a little bit more about this Cocktails of the Tales. Charlotte, what's that all about?
The Cocktails of the Tales is a seminar that we've put together to celebrate literary references of cocktails and drinking.
So cool.
It's a fun idea that was actually inspired by Xavier, our global brand ambassador on Hendrix.
So we're probably going to start with a recipe which was found in Dickens' book. Charles Dickens, that's correct. He was quite a big drinker as well, and we're looking at a hot gin punch, most specifically, which is a warm kind of Madeira wine, gin-based punch. So we'll taste that first, and then we'll go through just a little bit of history, or where does it come from.
And you have another surprise for us, don't you, Jim?
Yes, it's funny that you bring that up. For the first time ever, we're actually offering, from Scotland, pre-bottled, pre-cucumber, pre-rose, 2 different distillates from our 2 vastly different types of stills.
So is Hendrix distilled in pot stills?
They're copper stills, and the Bennett still makes a more traditional style of gin. It's a bit more full flavored. The juniper pops a little bit more. It lends itself more to the taste. And the Carter Head still is a vapor infusion type of still. So it's a very rare type of still, and it lends itself more to the nose. So you have this balance between the floral and the body of the cucumber, and we add the cucumber and the rose at the very tail end there.
I noticed that there are some cucumbers on the lanyards this year. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, I wanted just to explain to everyone that everyone at Tales this year is wearing the lanyard that Hendrix has sponsored, and there's a beautiful quote on here that David Wondrich actually helped us come up with. And I'd just like to read the little bit before the quote that comes around our neckties here, just to put it into context. And it's written by George Sala back in 1853. It's all about the barkeeper being a scholar and a gentleman. an accomplished artist, a man of considerable property, arranging these beverages and making them not only exquisite to the taste, but delightful to the view. If I were clever enough, I should like to be a barkeeper. And this is the quote that really for me brings everything back to us coming here together at Tales and celebrating our craft and our passion.
All of you are such great ambassadors for this brand. Thanks to Hendrix, one of our sponsors for the podcast too.